up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up.
Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. Jay Kleinknecht here, along with head coach Scott Langer. Coach, your team able to win 7 straight now with sweeping the Minnesota Magicians at home here at the Odie over the weekend. Friday night, a 5-2 win where Tyler Bossert picked up his 14th goal of the season. And Logan Genuine, his first as an Aberdeen wing, and then Carson Dimmoff, his 12th. And Carter Rue, his 10th goal, and Dimmoff with his 13th on an empty netter. So a strong win. You know, it felt like maybe a little bit of a slow start to start things out in the first, but boy, once things got rolling for the boys, they really kind of took it to the Magicians and set the tempo and really kind of, wasn't any moment of doubt really for me in that game. Of course, there really wasn't in Saturday night's matchup either, but things are going very well for your team right now. You'd be hard pressed really to especially for the layman, to pick out anything that isn't working particularly well. You're able to, your penalty kill was 0 of 6 on the weekend, so that's impressive. Able to score a power play goal on a team that comes in Friday night with the number one penalty kill in the league. I think they were at 26.6% or something like that. But overall, doing a very good job. Your Aberdeen Wings right now. What is working so well?
Well, I think it starts here in the dressing room. You know, it's a group of guys, and I haven't been afraid to say it, that have found a way to bond with one another, and they're really playing for one another. You know, obviously, winning is contagious, and our guys got a real good taste of that. And you know, but now with that, you know, teams are all going to try to knock us off that streak, and so you're going to get their best games. But you know, these guys have, since day one, they've always prepared the right way. I've never had a problem with their preparation or their work ethic, and that's been paying off for them. You know, it's not very often that we get outworked in a hockey game, and I think that's paying dividends.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. By the way, quick point of correction there. That when I was talking about penalty killing, 86.6%, not 26. But the Magicians come in, they're second in the Midwest Division. They're playing pretty good hockey. You guys do anything differently as the week went on to prepare for them, or as you mentioned, is it just that work, the same work that you put in for each team that you face each weekend?
Well, I think it's a little of both. You know, we spent quite a bit of time, because they were a new team, you know, on the pre-scout and you know, dissecting some of that video. You know, and there were some areas that we thought we could catch them on, and we did. You know, there were certain areas that they're very good at that we had to be very responsible, you know, in terms of shutting that down, and I thought we did a great job of that, you know. But, you know, we got out early, and, you know, Carter Rue makes a heck of a play to Bossert and gets the Odie, you know, jumping, and, you know, we didn't look back from that point on.
Yeah. Well, then Saturday night, a 4-1 win with Logan Genuine picking up his 2nd and 3rd goals as an Aberdeen wing, Gage Mackey his 11th, and Philip Dusek picking up his 1st with a shot from the point. 35 shots on goal on Saturday night, 34 saves for Forbes Ploget, and he's been playing very well as well. And we'll get a chance to talk with Forbes here in a bit, but he's jumped up now to 7th overall for goaltenders in the league, and is playing pretty darn good overall. Is it a product of the team playing in front of him, do you think, or is it a little bit of everything, where you know you've got a guy between the pipes that's going to make some big saves and timely saves that allows the guys in front to play a little more free?
Yeah, it's both. You know, when you have a goaltender of Forbes' caliber and playing the way he's playing, you know, it allows us to make a few more mistakes and take a few more chances. On the other side, our guys are actually giving him some offense, and I think Forbes will probably tell you it's nice to play with a lead. It allows him to settle in, but, you know, like this weekend, he gives up 1.5 goals against. There's a 95 save percentage. You're going to win some hockey games with that. And you know, Forbes was overlooked for the prospects, and you know, we had a meeting about it. We talked about it, and he's got something to prove. And there's no doubt that, you know, he's earned that. But you know, we're not going to let that get us down. And Forbes is a veteran of the North American Hockey League, and he's just going to put this team on his back. And I love the way he's reacted to that.
Yeah. Well, throughout history, we've seen examples of players like Aaron Rodgers or whatever, you know, that play with a bit of a chip on their shoulder throughout their career, or even if it is for a short while or whatever, and they're capable of amazing things. Right now, the standings, things tighten up. Your Wings jump up into 3rd position in the Central Division. Minot with 58 points, the Wilderness with 52 in 2nd. Wings now 47 points and in 3rd position. in the Central, as I mentioned. Then the Blizzard with 46, the Bruins with 43, and the Bobcats with 40. Coach, I've brought this up before, but you and I have talked about, early on you said that you thought around the Christmas break that this was going to be a team that was really coming together. And I think that it's pretty obvious that has come to fruition. And this team is going on a bit of a run here. And as you said, there's going to be a target on you guys as things go forward, that people are looking to stop that streak and so on. But what have you got to do to keep it going?
I don't think we change much.
Yeah.
I think we're having fun with what we do. We enjoy practicing together and preparing. Obviously, our guys love to win. They've proven that. They truly enjoy it. And they've got the feeling what it's like. Early on we found ways to lose, and now we're finding ways to win, and there's no better time. But, we're going to stick with the same recipe of what we've been doing as far as our preparation throughout the week and our video and taking care of our bodies. And then, as we move into game day, and we're going to take one period at a time, and we're just going to see how it goes.
Okay. Well, another one that I had a question, I guess, that I was going to ask you about, which I kind of laugh at because I was going to see what you'd have to say about Logan Genuine and how he has added to the team just before the trade deadline. But one thing that we already know is that he knows how to score. I mean, he puts in 3 goals over the weekend and definitely has a little bit of a touch and can score goals. What else can you tell us about the addition of Logan Genuine?
Well, he's certainly one of those character kids that fits into your locker room, and you always take a chance at the trade deadline that you're going to bring someone in that just doesn't slide into your locker room like you want him to. But Logan is a great kid, and I was able to meet with him and his family this summer, and I knew that bringing him in. But it's unbelievable that you can come in on your first weekend and slide into the systems and all the principles that you haven't been a part of, and find a way to put points on the board. I believe he had 5. So that's a testament to his ability, and obviously we're going after Logan Genuine because we were needing someone to put goals in the back of that net consistently down the stretch, and I think he's going to fill that role.
Yeah, well, it sure looks that way so far. Coach, coming up, we've got 3 games in 3 days again, which is no fun, but it is what it is. So the 17th, 18th, and 19th, you've got the Bobcats here at home. 7:15 puck drop both Friday and Saturday night. But then on the 19th, you travel down to Brookings on a rare Sunday kind of afternoon evening game. If I'm not mistaken, that's a 5:15 puck drop. What do you do? And this isn't the first time that you guys have seen 3 and 3. In fact, that's kind of how things got started with this streak. But what do you do differently at all to prepare for 3 games in 3 days?
I don't think we do anything different.
Yeah.
I think we're going to continue on our schedule, doing what has worked for us. Obviously, we have to, be careful how hard we go throughout the week in order to have energy for 3 games. But again, we're not looking past Friday night. Friday night's the most important game in our mind, and from there we'll change what we have to change and go back at it Saturday, and then obviously Sunday, which is never a fun game for players or for coaches to have to play a matinee game on a Sunday. But our guys are up to the challenge, and I think that they enjoy the challenge. So we may be in 3rd place, but it's going to take a lot of effort to stay there with the teams that are chasing us and the way the schedule is in our division. So I mean the parity is unbelievable this year.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta certainly keep going, because before you know it, someone can pass you if you don't.
Yeah, can't let off. Well, basically the overall philosophy is if it's not broke, don't fix it, and it's not broke. So keep things going the way they're going, regardless of what aspect it really is. So we'll see what happens against the Bobcats coming up Friday night. It's again $2 off admission at the door with valid ID, and corporate sponsor is Dakota Broadcasting. Again, that's 7:15 puck drop Friday night. Then Friday, February the 18th, the Bismarck Bobcats again, and that's the teddy bear toss night. Always a popular night to come out to the Odie, bring a new teddy bear to throw onto the ice after the Wings' first goal. Corporate sponsor is the Old Shrine, and then as I mentioned, on the 19th, Brookings Blizzard in Brookings, and you can listen to that game at 94.1 The Rock, HubCityRadio.com, or the Hub City Radio app. Also, of course, on HockeyTV.com, and you can watch the game at Buffalo Wings and Rings. So that's pretty much going to end our segment with Coach. Got a couple of players that are coming up after these words from our sponsor.
Let's make a taco. No, seriously. Start with a tortilla, soft tortilla. Warm it, kiss it. Don't kiss it. Chicken? How about tequila lime chicken? Now we're cooking. Slice this, peel that, snip those. Salsa? Verde. Cheese? Cotija. Oh, forgot to mention. Guac. That's better. See, anyone can make a taco, but we're not anyone. We're Qdoba, and these are knockout tacos. Qdoba Mexican Eats. Choose flavor.
Welcome back to Wings Weekly. Jay Klein Connect here, along with Forbes OJ and Kevin Fitzgerald. First time this year, we'll grab a couple of players and get a chance to talk with them a little bit about how the season is going and how they see things continuing to go. Fitzy, we'll start with you. You're leading the team right now with 44 points, 19 goals, 25 assists. Things going well. As you know, I was just talking with Coach Langer about guys on a 7-game streak, and just in all facets, things are firing well. Power play is able to score some goals. Forbes obviously solid between the pipes. You guys are able to manufacture some goals and give him a little support in that regard. But obviously defensively, you're playing really well too. So things going well in all aspects, all components. What do you think is the reason for it? What is working so well?
Yeah, I just say, overall, like, everyone's pretty much going. Like, you can't really look to one person and be like, oh, there's a reason for success. Like, because of him, I mean, obviously Forbes has been playing great, so that's a huge help, especially at the goaltender position. But, I mean, when you got 20 guys going tonight, it really makes, everyone's job really easy. So, I mean, you got guys stepping up, like Logan Genuine coming in, 5 points, 2 games. Like,
Yeah.
He's been playing awesome, especially guys like, Tyler Bossert, Carson Bluff, Carter Rue. So, all those guys, have been playing great. And when you have a lot of players who are clicking,
For sure.
It turned out pretty good.
Absolutely, depth is huge. When you, like you said, when you've got 3-4 lines that can score, it certainly is an added component. What do you guys see as? I asked Coach Langer this. Basically, his answer was essentially you've got to keep things going and do what you've been doing that has allowed you guys to be successful. Do you see anything else that you've got to do differently to keep things rolling forward in the win column? So, like I talked with Coach Langer about, there's going to start to be a target on your back. People are starting to look at you to knock off, and be the streak breaker, if you will. Does that add any pressure to you guys, or do you feel like you just keep doing what you're doing?
I think the biggest thing is just continue to work hard like we have, and just try not to overthink anything and just stick to what works. The season is coming to an end soon, and we're heating up at the perfect time. So I think it's just continue to do what works and not really worry about things we can't control.
Right. It's just cut your hand. Forbes, you jump up to the 7th best goaltender in the league after the weekend. Looking at some stats before I came out now, 2.42 goals against average and a .916 save percentage. And, as we talked about, and I talked with Coach about it, about how it allows the skaters in front of you to have a little more freedom, knowing that you're playing as well as you are. But then I got to believe that them being able to add some runs, as we talked about, but then also defensively playing as well as they have, that's got to allow you to maybe what I want to say is take a little pressure off, but allow you to be a little more fluid back there, or how can you quantify, if you will, how well things are going for you right now? Are you just seeing the puck really well, or what is it?
I think it's a mixture of everything. When the guys are playing their game and just battling off the start, and it sets the momentum and the pace, and it just makes it a whole lot easier when we're all on the same page. And I think that's the biggest thing right now is the guys are doing their job, so it makes my job a lot easier.
Sure. Another thing I wanted to talk about, not only how well you're playing and so on, but how much culture shock is it coming to a place like Aberdeen, South Dakota, being from Arizona, and everything's so flat here, and it's kind of a smaller town, by overall in comparison. How has it been adjusting to a place like Aberdeen?
It's been a huge adjustment. Not really used to the small town. I love it though. I think the community is really good, and everyone rallies around the team.
Yeah.
And it's just so much different, and I love it here.
Yeah. Well, good. Glad to hear it. And I know, Kevin, there was an article in the newspaper about.
They have pheasants here. Did you know what a pheasant was?
I actually didn't know what a pheasant was.
Not the only one.
Well, outside of the Midwest, I don't suppose it's that big of a deal, but it's a huge You know, in October when that opener comes, the place fills up with
Oh,
orange,
yeah.
and people call it travel from all around. Believe it or not, it's actually a big boost of income for our whole state too. So, yeah, that's where Winger comes from.
Yeah, I thought he was a turkey.
I thought he was a turkey.
I mean,
That's great. But you've adjusted well to Aberdeen as a whole, and kind of taking it as a second home, if you will.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I gotta hand it. Like the fans, gotta hand it to them. The fans are great. I mean, best in the league. I said it in the thing the other day. Like, not just saying it. Like, you come out there, everyone's super loud, super supportive, and we really feed off it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, because we often talk about the best fans in the league, whether it's me on the broadcast or coach or players that in interviews and so on. But I get a chance, as you guys know, to see some of the other barns that you guys play in and that we see the fan base. And I do think that our fans are definitely loud and proud and definitely are fantastic. And we got to tip our hats to them and hope that they keep coming out and supporting the Aberdeen Wings, because it is an atmosphere that I think other teams are a little, I don't know, intimidated by, but they get up to play in it and so on, especially when you average 300 people for the Minnesota Magicians in their building, and it's just like, that's huge.
Yeah, for sure.
This team, we talked again about how things have been going well and what you guys have been doing and what you have to do to keep it going. What is this team capable of? How far can it go?
Well, I told Rob from the news, really, we play the way we can. We get all guys gelling together and playing well. It's really no limit, I think. And I was telling him about possibly make a pretty good run here, playoffs coming up. So, I mean, it really just starts from goaltending out. Forbes been doing great. So, I mean, really, I don't really see a cap on the potential.
Right. Sky's the limit, huh?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Oftentimes, last year and throughout the early part of this season, there would be questions asked about who's the biggest clown on the team and so on. And oftentimes that was you. But I think, is it? Because I was going to say, I think Bagwell's got a little bit of a screw loose too or something.
That's crazy. No, I'm just kidding. Bag's a great guy.
So I'm just curious about some of the personalities. Who would you say, are you still the class clown, if you will, that keeps everybody light and on their toes in the locker room?
It's situational.
Yeah?
Bagwell doesn't know when to stop. Fitzy does.
That's a good way to put that.
Well, thanks, Forbes. Thanks a lot.
How about who's the moodiest? Who's the one that's over?
Tyler Bossert.
That was quick.
Raver for sure.
No, it's Raver.
Yeah. Okay. So he's the one that's going to be over there stewing about something and as he's getting there.
Stewing, yeah.
He doesn't say anything.
Just yells it. No, he's a great guy though.
Well, of course. I mean, and by any of this, I'm not saying that any of them are, but I know everybody's got a different personality in the locker room. When you've got this many guys together, it's interesting to especially from a fan side that doesn't see the interaction with players and stuff. It's interesting to kind of hear a little about how guys get along and how they're different. Because there are some guys that are a little more standoffish and kind of want to be left alone, and then there's others that are loud and jumping around, and it's a different mix for sure. And I think that actually adds to the as you talked about, the gelling and coming together and working together. So interesting. Who's the most serious?
I don't really think we have anyone that's pretty serious. I mean, got some quiet guys, guys who don't talk very much, but I think overall, like people from an outside perspective would be kind of surprised with how much fun we have every day, whether it's working out, practicing in the locker room, hanging with the guys.
Yeah.
But
I think the biggest thing is just we have fun and we're goofy, but when it comes time to get the job done, we know our role.
yeah, for sure.
And it keeps things loose. We don't get too tight. We know when to have fun.
Well, I think that's an important part of it. If you start taking yourself too seriously, then it stops being fun, and that's the whole point of it, is to enjoy the game and then and enjoy doing what you love. Another question I wanted to ask you, Kevin, specifically, but Forbes, I'm sure through your career you've probably come across this, but I oftentimes remark and am a little bit surprised, I guess, how when former teammates come across each other, or guys that maybe you played with or have played against on another team somewhere along the line, because there's some movement around the league and so on. It's funny to me how one minute you're in the corner, pushing and shoving, and the next you're over at the face-off circle, half laughing and joking or chirping each other a little bit, and it's the dynamics, and I brought that up when you talked about being serious, but then also knowing when, okay, you can have fun with it, but then knowing when to be serious. And you see that on the ice sometimes too. And I was curious, of course, Will Hammer was with the Ebony Wings for 2 years, and he had a big impact on the community as a whole, as you guys I'm sure heard when he was announced on Friday and Saturday night. What was that like? Face off against a former teammate like that. What kind of stuff gets said?
Well, it was definitely weird. I mean, well, first off, he was a great guy.
Yeah.
Great person, like, overall. Like, so, I mean, there's obviously nothing. It's not. It was a little weird playing against him. But yeah, like, it's just fun. Like, when you get down to it, it's just hockey. Like, we're just having fun. Like, there's no, like, hatred or anything.
Right.
Like, but
Not
yeah.
for anybody?
No, I mean, maybe.
Seems like there may have been a couple along the years. That's how you get pretty worked up. Earlier this year, I think we were in Bismarck. Or Minot, I can't remember. And then I was like, that's not usually Kevin's deal. He's usually usually a little bit more laid back, but you were pretty upset with somebody. I can't remember how. And of course, we've seen Forbes throw a little, show a little bit of temper, a little bit of attitude too. So
Throw me under the bus.
I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm saying we love it. We love seeing you guys play with passion and with excitement like that, because it is. I mean, it's a man's game. There's hits getting thrown out there, and maybe a little cheap shot that somebody takes a little bit of liberty with you, and you're like, you know what, I don't think I like that much. I'm gonna let them know. But then 5 minutes later, it's a whole different conversation with the player, which is, I think, is just kind of funny and actually a little bit exclusive to hockey in many ways.
Yeah.
Like I've commented before about how you see guys get into a fight where both of them are bloodied up and whatnot, and then you go look at them in the penalty box and they're, hey, good fight, man. What other sport do you see that? You just don't. So it's interesting in many ways, and I think I just wanted to kind of see what it's like to for you guys, as I mentioned, to play against teams that have a player that you're familiar with, or how those conversations go. So it's interesting. So anyway. I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for what I got to say. You guys got anything you want to add before we go?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can follow. We got this hand we pass around. It's kind of a Wings tradition. And you can follow it on Instagram at life_of_the_hand_.
You might want to say that again.
So, yeah, it's at, then life_of_the_hand_. So just a little insight into what we do, some traditions, and yeah.
And we got to hand it to you guys. We have a great fan base, and we want to see you there this weekend.
By the way, you can Snapchat. Should make sure to mention that. The Wings, of course, been active on Twitter and Facebook for a long time, but now add them on Snapchat. Aberdeen Wings, all lowercase, a lot of fun stuff, and I think the hand makes an appearance or two in that as well. So a little bit,
for sure,
a little bit of head scratching going on, trying to figure out what was up for some people. But so anyway, the Aberdeen Wings are having fun and they're winning games. Come on out Friday and Saturday night, as we talked about, folks. They face the Bismarck Bobcats. Friday, 7:15 puck drop. That is college night. $2 off admission at the door with a valid ID. And the corporate sponsors, Dakota Broadcasting. February the 18th versus the Bobcats here at the OD again. Teddy Bear toss. Bring a new teddy bear to throw out onto the ice after the Wings score their first goal. And the corporate sponsors yield their shrine. Then, as we talked about earlier, 3 and 3 Sunday for a matinee game. That's a 5:05 puck drop. You can watch the game at Buffalo Wings and Rings or on hockeytv.com. Listen to the game on 94.1 The Rock or hubcityradio.com or the Hub City Radio app. A lot of hockey coming up, and your Aberdeen Wings are on a roll. So tune in and come on out. Pack the OD as the Wings take on the Bobcats this weekend. That'll wrap it up. Thanks, Forbes and Kevin, for joining me. My name's Jay Kleinknecht. Thanks for watching, everybody.